you'll appreciate what's coming up next. Let's get you ready so you know exactly what to expect. Dr. Steven Sywick made a show about pain to give help to those in need and show them how to regain their health so they can function and get back into life. And he wanted you to see it with your husband or wife. But it's tough to throw a party about pain management, and Dr. Sywick wanted you all to enjoy this event. So we hooked us all up with a very special guest. Let me tell you, people, you're about to witness the best.
Chef Rachel!
She's the host with the most.
Chef Rachel!
The one-stop healthy cooking coach.
Chef Rachel!
She's about to fill up your plate. Chef Rachel will make sure that you don't gain any weight.
Yeah, Chef Rachel will make sure that you don't gain any weight.
Any minute now, you're about to learn how to eat smart. So sit back and relax. The show's about to start.
Welcome, everyone. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to walk you through some of the recipes that you'll be sampling. So how many people have tried the creamy carrot soup with ginger as a starter? All right. So I'll be walking you through that recipe. I'll be teaching you how to make poached pears sweetened with raisins and Turkish dried apricots, and how to make dark chocolate dipped date nut truffles that are sweetened with dates rather than refined sugar. And all of the things I'll be showing you are wheat-free, gluten-free, and dairy-free, and loaded with vitamins, minerals, fiber, antioxidants, and a lot of protective compounds to fight pain and inflammation, and a lot of other problems. So what I want to do first is walk you through how to make the creamy carrot soup with ginger. And what you have coming around is Moroccan spiced salmon with Moroccan barbecue sauce. You have a quinoa tabbouleh, and for those who have not had quinoa, it's an ancient South American grain with a higher protein and mineral profile than most grains. And the quinoa is made into a tabbouleh, so it's a wheat-free twist on the classic tabbouleh that's made in the Middle East with bulgur wheat. You're also trying kale sauteed with onions, garlic, basil, mustard, and sea salt and pepper. And then you'll have for dessert dark chocolate dipped date nut truffles, coconut macaroons dipped in dark chocolate, and poached pears with raisins, Turkish dried apricots, and toasted pecans. So I'll walk you through the soup first, and you'll all have the opportunity to take home printed recipe packets. So if you want to replicate the entire meal or just some of the recipes at home, or pass them on to someone you love who will make it for you, you'll have that chance. So what I want to do first is walk you through the creamy carrot soup. So this is a very easy recipe to prep. So what I'm going to do first is an onion, and I'm going to show you the safest way and easiest way to cut and peel an onion. And you want to have a good chef knife. That's really crucial. And to keep your cutting board from slipping, have a wet paper towel or some shelf liner underneath the board so it doesn't move at all while you're working. So what I do first, just cut off the north and south pole of the onion so we have a flat surface to work on. And then I cut it in half, top to bottom, peel off the outer layer, and then we'll thinly slice it. For this recipe, what we're going to do is we're going to saute the onion in coconut oil. And if you haven't cooked with coconut oil and coconut milk and unsweetened coconut are rich in something called monolaurin, so one of the same fatty acids that's in human mother's milk that has antiviral, antifungal, and antimicrobial properties. And you can use virgin coconut oil anywhere that you would use olive oil or other vegetable oils. So I'm going to put a tablespoon of coconut oil in the pot, and then we'll add our chopped onion. So I'm going to add an onion that I already chopped, but then I'm going to give you some tips on safely chopping an onion. Onions are rich in antioxidants. They're rich in one of the same antioxidants that's in wine, but you won't get pulled over for eating your onions. Good source of quercetin and a lot of other compounds. Now, when you're chopping the onion, make sure you bend back your fingers like this, or just bend back only the fingers you want to keep. So I took a half an onion and I cut it in thirds like this, and then thinly slices like this. So just make sure you keep those fingers bent and out of the way. And we're going to saute the onions until they're translucent. And for this recipe, you'll need 4 cups of sliced carrots. And I like to peel the carrots. I think that makes them less bitter, makes them more sweet. So we started out with about 1.5 pounds of carrots, washed them, peeled them, thinly slice them, and once the onions are tender, we'll add the carrots. And you really only have about 15 minutes of hands-on work with this soup. While it's cooking, you don't have to be standing there stirring and doing a lot, but you do need to get it started. The next thing that goes in here is ginger root. How many people work with ginger root? All right, it is a really super food. Ginger root has a lot of different antioxidants in it. It's great for digestion, great for pain, inflammation, circulation. There's some research showing ginger is as effective as prescription meds for motion sickness, morning sickness, and it's been used for a lot of other conditions. Besides that, it just tastes great. And what you want to do is look for ginger that's firm, smooth, and unblemished. And you just rinse it and trim off the skin, either with a knife or a vegetable peeler. And we don't have to do it chopped super fine because it will be pureed in the blender. But what you want to do here is just coarsely chop it, and then once the onions are tender, we'll add the ginger. So for this recipe, you're going to need a tablespoon of minced fresh ginger. If you love ginger, feel free to double it. And you'll also need a half a teaspoon of dried ground ginger, and that just gives a different flavor than fresh ginger, kind of a layer of flavors, and really nice. So as your onions are cooking, just stir periodically, kind of a medium heat. And if you want the onions to soften and you don't want to have to stir as much, you can actually add the sea salt now. So you need 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of finely ground unrefined sea salt. And if you use something called Celtic sea salt, that's got 83 different trace minerals. And if you use something called Redmond real salt, it's got 50 different trace minerals. And I find it gives a lot more flavor than a typical salt or sea salt. So you get the onions in here, you get the sea salt, and then as the onions start to soften, we can start adding some of the other ingredients. So we're going to add our dried ginger, and you'll need about a tablespoon of fresh ginger for the basic recipe, more if you like. And as you're working, if you can clean as you go, you'll have less mess at the end and enjoy it more.
So now I'm here with Kat Hurd. Hi, Kat.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. And who are you with?
I'm with Boston Scientific.
Thank you for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
What did you learn tonight? Anything new?
Yeah, I learned a lot. I learned that kale can taste good. I didn't know that.
I know, I just tasted it. Not bad.
Yeah. You didn't get to eat, I guess, because you were cooking. But
Yeah.
and just all of the nutrients and like calcium and spices. So there's a lot of little tidbits that I picked up.
I know, those calcium and all those spices. Who needs dairy, right?
Yeah.
I am going to show you how to do 2 more things.
Oh.
All right, so Dr. Sywick, do you like chocolate? All right, so I'm going to have you come help make dark chocolate dipped date nut truffles. All right, so the dark chocolate dipped date nut truffles you will get to try in a little while. After you finish your dinner, right? You have to wait until after dinner, right? You gotta eat your dinner before you get dessert. What I'm going to have you do is put on some gloves right here. And I'm going
used to that.
Yep. Always have those gloves handy, right? All right. Now, let's put this out of the way.
How do you do that?
That's right.
Technical aspect of that.
What was that?
First of all, you get gloves that fit.
Yes. Oh, I think we got
No, that's all
medium
right.
instead of
Yes,
large. What we're going to do first, I'm going to walk you through the ingredients. Really simple ingredients. This will probably be.
People out there.
Yeah. You're on camera. All right.
Live
What-
audience, Dr.
Right,
Sywick.
that's
Live
right.
audience.
Wow.
This will probably be one of the simplest chocolate desserts you've ever made.
All right.
And it's got really easy to find ingredients. These are made from soft pitted dates, put through a grinder twice, and then rolled in unsweetened coconut. And what we're going to do is we're going to make half of them into squares and then half of them into these little truffle shapes. So I'm going to show you here. So what you need is a pound of date coconut rolls, and what you're going to do is you're going to take these, you're going to break them in half,
Okay.
and you're going to take half of them and roll them like this, like you're making a meatball. And then you're going to take half of them and press them into a square like that. So it's kind of a flat square like that.
Got it.
And I'll put that sample so you can look at that. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, and we're going to do a half recipe right now, but I'm going to walk you through the amounts for a full recipe. So you need a pound of date coconut rolls. You're going to need 4 ounces of unsweetened baker's chocolate. So you have several options here. There's the economy chocolate, Baker's or Hershey's unsweetened baker's chocolate. Then there's the next grade up, Ghirardelli unsweetened baker's chocolate. So all of these chocolates will give you that nice chocolate flavor you're looking for, but you're going to have a little smoother taste with the more expensive chocolates. So either one, and just make sure it's unsweetened. And then you're going to chop the chocolate so that it melts easily. And I'm using a square straight edge chef knife, but you could use a tomato knife or a bread knife that's serrated, and that's even easier for chopping. And if you have Ghirardelli unsweetened baker's chocolate, you don't even have to chop it. You can just break it into pieces because it's a flat bar. So we're going to melt the chocolate on a very low heat. If you have a gas cooktop, ideally you'll slip a heat deflector or a flame tamer between the skillet and the burner just to control the flame and also spread it out. Sometimes it's called a heat diffuser, sometimes it's called a flame tamer, and it just tames and spreads the flame. So if you have one of these scrapers, just lift your chocolate into the skillet, minimize messes. And what we're going to do is we are going to start turning the pieces of date in the chocolate to coat. The other thing you're going to need is you're going to need about a cup of unsweetened flaked coconut or nut meal. So it could be toasted almonds, walnuts, or pecans that have been pulverized. And then you need another cup of either toasted almonds, walnuts, pecans, pine nuts, or cashews to decorate them.
Experience the Pain Center of Arizona and get back into life. Call 1-888-PAIN-CENTER.
So I'm here now with Ken and Barbie. No, seriously, that's who I'm here with.
Yep.
Right, guys?
Yes.
This is true. It's a great icebreaker.
And Barbie actually was one of our favorite stories on the Pain Channel. And now you're joining us here for the cooking show. What did you learn tonight?
Well, I learned that there's a lot more steps. I don't normally cook, so there's a lot more steps in cooking than I thought. So I appreciate him a little bit more.
Oh, does he do all the
He
cooking?
does all the cooking.
So maybe I should be asking you, Ken, what did you learn tonight?
Well, I should cook more healthy. That's probably the number one thing that I thought. But I didn't realize that there were, the antioxidants were a big thing, and I really kind of neglected that. So that's always helpful. She liked the desserts the most.
The macaroons. I didn't know healthy could be so good.
So delicious. I know the macaroons were amazing.
They are.
You can just eat tons of those and be healthy.
I asked for a to-go bag.
Did you get one?
Yeah.
Nice. Good work. I'm going to try that. So now, Ken, something I learned tonight was about the ginger and the anti-inflammatory properties that it has. Now that's important for Barbie, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Anti-inflammatories, because she gets a nerve pain, which is inflammatory. So anything that can be anti-inflammatory is really what I want to use and start, preparing for dinners so that it, prevents less spikes in pain.
Very good.
Absolutely helpful.
So more ginger in the Ken and Barbie house.
That's right.
More ginger, yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Great pleasure to actually meet you in person. I never got to do that. So they keep me in the studio all the time. But we'll see you at the next cooking show too?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you guys.
What we're going to do is start putting the chocolate in here. Now you don't need to stir much as the chocolate is melting, but you can just check it to make sure that chocolate's almost melted. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn these in the chocolate, and then you're going to drip the chocolate into the pan. So what you're going to do is drip the extra chocolate back into the pan. Now, because I don't have a heat diffuser, I'm going to turn this chocolate off in just a minute so it doesn't get too hot. What you're going to do is you're going to put a cashew piece on top of each. So it could be an almond, a walnut, a pecan, a cashew, or a sprinkle of pine nuts on the square ones. Okay. And the round ones will decorate a little bit differently. So you want to make sure you get the side there. There you go. And then just drip the extra chocolate kind of back and forth in the spoons, kind of scraping. There you go. That's perfect. And then you'll just line those up.
See, mine are too big.
And what we're going to do with the round ones, once those go in, is they'll be coated in the coconut or in nut meal. And I'll show you how to do that too. All right, so you can just keep going there on that. So just the square ones on your side, and then the round ones we'll do after that. So this is a great do-ahead dish. You can make it. It's going to be chilled in the refrigerator before serving. So we have some we made ahead, so you'll get to taste them tonight. Now, if you coat that round one right there, and then drop that in here, I'll show you the next one. So as you do that one, you just you can roll it back and forth in there or on the spoons. There you go. And then drip as much chocolate back into the pan. You need 2 separate spoons for this part. You want to lift up and over the chocolate dipped date and then press with your spoons. But wait to press with the spoons until they're well coated so that you keep the spoons as clean as possible. And they look really pretty.
Yeah, they are. They're like little snowballs.
And then normally I would, for an assembly line, I'd have it set up so that you could just go all in one row.
Are we nutting those as well?
Nope, those are going to be
coconut.
coated with the coconut. And then we'll do a few more squares.
Perfect.
Now, if you're cooking for someone who's allergic to coconut, what you'd need to do is you'd need to pulverize the dates, soft pitted dried dates in a food processor. And then you could shape them into the round or the square pieces. And then instead of using coconut, if they could use tree nuts, then you would use almond, walnut, or pecan meal to roll them in, and other nuts on top if they had a coconut allergy. There you go. Perfect. And with this recipe, I've never had any problem with spoilage, so they keep. In fact, one of the Christmas gifts I sent to some of my friends on different coasts were little cookie tins with the little paper wrappers, little candy wrappers, and then chocolate dipped date nut truffles with different flavors. And that's easy to ship in the winter, especially if you're sending it somewhere cold. But you definitely have to have it somewhere cold so that they don't melt on the way. So with each of these, you're getting a nice sweet taste from the dates, and the chocolate again is unsweetened. And I've had people who don't normally like dates who love this. So it's a neat way to introduce people to a fruit that they might not have thought they liked, and just a different way to use it. Now, if you wanted a little extra peppermint flavor, you could put half a teaspoon of peppermint extract, or you could put half a teaspoon of coffee flavoring or vanilla extract or some other flavored extract in with the chocolate, and that gives a really nice flavor. One of my friends makes these every year for a Christmas party, and she does them with the peppermint extract for something a little different. All right, let's check the pears. So if you'll keep going on the chocolates there. Now, when you get to the end of the pan and it looks like you don't have much chocolate left, or if you run out of dates and there's chocolate left in the pan, you can take a heat-proof silicone spatula, scrape the last of the chocolate, and then you can drizzle it across them to make little thin little kind of streaks or lines, especially the ones like that look really pretty with just a little bit of chocolate drizzled across. So I'm going to check these and see how our pears are. Okay, now a couple more minutes. So pears are almost done. Just another, oops, that one out. Another 2, maybe 3, 4 minutes. So ideally, if you're making a full batch, what you want to do when you're making a full batch is you want to line them up as if you're making cookies or something, so you can fit a lot more on the tray. So the ones that are round can stick together. They won't stick together because of the coconut. And in those, you'd have them in nice little rows just so you could fit more in there, and then it would be easier to fit your tray in the fridge. So just make sure you pick a tray that's a size that fits into your refrigerator or freezer for chilling.
Dr. Sywick is clearly much better with a scalpel than with a spoon.
Yeah, I just like that.
Right, you know, by the 3rd time that you make this, you'll be a whiz at it.
Excellent. Excellent.
So 2 more times,
Okay,
Dr.
and then-
Sywick, and you're there.
Here you go, I'll give you a hand.
Perfect.
All right.
That's the problem is I would have eaten 4 of these by now before
Now they don't taste good when they're hot. So
Oh, is that right?
yeah, you want to wait until the chocolate sets up because the chocolate's actually more bitter because it's unsweetened. When it's liquid, it tastes more bitter. There's just something about the chemistry of it that when it's
Of
chilled,
this particular chocolate?
for unsweetened.
Chocolate hot to me
Yeah.
sounds about right.
If it's sweet, yes.
Okay,
If it's sweet, if you melted a bittersweet dark chocolate bar,
Okay.
you could drizzle it on, strawberries, cherries, ice cream, whatever. But because this is unsweetened, it's already very bitter. It'll be too strong if you do it. Oops, let me get the spoon out of the way. All right, and you want to keep lifting the spoon out before you drop the next piece in, so you get a high yield on that. All right, so I'm going to get a spatula.
I yield. I'm like,
You don't want to waste any of this really good chocolate.
believe that.
Once you taste them, you'll see. All right, so we can get a couple more out of that. All right, and you're going to try some today with similar to this, but with some different nuts on top. All right, get that one. There you go. Oh, I think get one more too.
Oh shoot! I got chocolate on my gloves.
Oh, that's okay. You can wash your hands while you're wearing gloves. You can do several things. As long as you're not working on patience, you could do several dishes in a row.
Don't want to go from patient.
No,
to
no.
date prep. That's
No.
no idea.
All right, one more here.
So I promise it'll be worth the wait.
So I think we missed out on.
All right, so I'll show you the next step. So those spoons could go in that bowl right here,
Okay.
and we'll do a little dance here. Okay.
Drop them here.
Yep. Now, what you can do at this point is you can take this, take the chocolate,
Oh, that's pretty.
and just go like that across. Bigger little streaks across here with the chocolate if you like. Or if you want, you could go back and forth crisscross. And then on these, and again, we're doing a half batch today, you could go like this. These are just a sampling of some of the recipes that you tasted today.
Thanks again, and thank you for a wonderful one.
Thank you.
Now, Dr. Sywick, what did you learn tonight? You've been here before with Chef Rachel. What did you learn tonight?
Well, I did. I learned that nutrition can be fun. I was jokingly telling the people at my table, don't remind me that this is good for me. I might stop eating it. But the fact is, delicious and nutritional actually can go together. And thank you very much for that.
I'm on a mission to show people that because some people think healthy and delicious are like miles apart, and I show people it goes together. I mean, you can look forward to eating this fabulous food, and then it's really fun to know, wow, it has all these good things in it to help keep me healthy.
Doctors are hilarious, but have a deeper side. General hospital docs have many dark secrets to hide. They're more likely to cheat or contract a rare disease, and if it's the end of the year, they are more likely to die. When their contract's up, that's okay. A new doctor is on the way. They may not be George Clooney, but hey, ER did okay. So doctors, hold your heads up high as you save another life.
Of an adorable child with an impossibly rare disease that looks so horribly atrocious you can't possibly look away. But you're the best, damn it, so you're gonna make sure that this patient lives because he reminds you of your adopted son who died 3 days in a fiery plane crash right before the woman that you love left you at the altar for the chief of surgery.
Because
That's just another day for doctor. Life's more interesting when you are a doctor. Every doctor's so complex, that's why they have so much sense of humor. It's no rumor that all doctors are sublime. Yes, all doctors are sublime.
Sing it with us one more time.
It's just another day for a doctor. Life's more interesting when you are a doctor. Every doctor's so complex, that's why they have so much sense of humor.